Hi, lovelies. Welcome back. This week, I want to talk about how seeing that we are nature takes a whole bunch off our plate. Because it's so easy to get stuck in the kind of I am me, like I am my thoughts, I am my feelings, I am my personality, I am my preferences, I am my likes and dislikes, I am where I live and who I hang out with and what I do, and just really see ourselves in this very limited way. And the problem when we see ourselves in this limited way is that we are constantly then having it all be on our plate, having it all be on our shoulders, having it all be up to us. Because if we are just, kind of this limited version of what we think and feel, what we do and say, then when there's a problem in our life, it's instantly like, okay, now I have to think about it. Now I have to go solve it. Now I have to come up with a way out of this. And fortunately, we are not what we do or say. We are not our thoughts and feelings. We are not these limited, constricted kind of versions that we think of ourselves as. We're not these fixed personalities. We are not these just kind of stable, solid, that we're just the type of person who, that's just made up and believed, and that's why it looks true. But what we are is something so much bigger than that. What we are is really, to my mind, nature. To my mind, the very force that is literally doing everything. I was fortunate enough to go out in nature yesterday and just spend a whole day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. adventure day, just being in this gorgeous place that I'm lucky enough to call home, and just seeing everything, the most stunning lakes, the most amazing waterfalls, the most gorgeous forests. And I'm reminded over and over, this is the power. Nature is the power, and we are nature. Even when I say this is, that implies that there's a separation, there's trees and then there's me. The trees are powered by the same thing that's powering me and powering you and powering all of us. It's the same thing that's powering the chipmunks I saw yesterday and the deers I saw and just all of the amazing kind of just creatures and wildlife and nature. That has the same source. And whether we call the source nature, whether we call it the universe, whether we call it the quantum field, I don't really care what people call that energy behind life, the life force, prana, it doesn't matter to me what you call it. But recognizing and having a deeper appreciation for that is what is in charge. It's not you. It's not, your problems are not that you can never kind of think and analyze and mentally kind of work your way to different analysis or different forms of thought, because you can, and we often do, and we exhaust ourselves and just overwhelm ourselves doing it. But there is something that just gives us new ideas. There's something that just causes us to thrive. There's something that just has creativity pour through this. There's something that is doing all of the hard work. It's doing the heartbeat and the breathing and the digesting and the cell turnover. And that's not us doing it. Yes, I can kind of make myself take a deep breath, I've done my breathing. But my breathing is doing it even when I'm at awe and, looking at the waterfalls, just in absolute awe. I'm not thinking, I'd have to breathe now, that's my job. But yet, when we don't realize that we are this bigger power, that we are nature, that we are so above and beyond what we think of ourselves as, well, we tend to get stuck. And when we get stuck, we just assume that there's nothing bigger than just what we think and feel. There's nothing bigger than our brain. There's nothing bigger than our past or our predicted future. There's nothing bigger than our having to sort everything out, our having to fix that relationship, our having to make ourselves better, our having to solve problems. And none of that is true. Because we are so much bigger than that, there's so much that is being done for us. And so yesterday when I was out just absolutely in awe and admiration and just adoration of nature, I was like, wow, this feels like a homecoming. This feels like me recognizing that the same power that's running all of this, and that is running my body and that is running my mind is also running my life. It's also doing the heavy lifting for me. I can sit there and try to make it my job to do everything, and everything is on my shoulders and on my plate and on my to-do list. Or I can realize that, guess what? I'm not what I think and feel. I'm not my ideas about myself. I'm not my personality. I'm not this fixed, stable thing that has to go and fix everything and change everything and be the predominant creative force of my life. I instead can just relax into doing what occurs to me to do, hanging out in life, enjoying life, thriving, being lived, being breathed, being just having it all come through me instead of from me. And that is just so much of a more relaxing, joyful, peaceful, easy, fun way to live life. Knowing that life is coming through you. It's not on you to do all of it. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, there's just so much in my life that I'm responsible for, that I have to do, that I have to come up with, that I have to solve, that I have to think my way to, that I have to change, that I have to fix, that I have to manage, consider that because you are nature, there's so much less to do than you think. Because you are nature, you are bigger and more powerful and more just expansive, and just, like, as you can tell right now, I don't really have the words for it, but you are so much more than what you think, and there's so much more available to you than you think, and you can allow that to come through you more and more. Instead of doing so much to try to get somewhere, you can just relax and let what's always been carrying you continue to carry you forward, even when life looks difficult, even when life looks like it's all on your shoulders. It never really is, because you are so much bigger than what you think. So I hope this is helpful. As always, leave comments and questions below. I love hearing from you guys. I will be back with you next Friday. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and take an just amazing, amazing weekend doing whatever occurs to you to do, because when we let ourselves be lived, when we let ourselves be guided, when we let ourselves off the hook for managing our lives and just really see that, wow, there's something that's doing the heavy lifting for us, life just becomes beautiful. And I know that beauty is right there for the taking for you to experience whenever, however, wherever you please. So take care, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye.